Hey, church family. I wanted to take this opportunity to present you with another word of encouragement as we continue to watch our world in turmoil. Have you ever stopped to ask, what is the basis of morality? And what is the standard for answering every ethical dilemma? You know, over the past several months, we've watched as angry mobs resort to acts of violence, all in an attempt to establish a basis for social justice and ethnic equity. Now, I believe that every American ought to do their part to help make our country a better place to live for everyone. And yet we must not fail to recognize the problem that arises when people choose to use immoral means to accomplish a moral end. The fact is that the ends will never justify the means. And those who attempt to employ immoral means to accomplish a moral end, it's not going to produce the ethical equity that we all want. You know, when it comes to the question regarding the right measure of morality, we would do well to examine the way that we treat those with whom we disagree. The reason why is due to the fact that the moral measure of a civilization, it's seen in the treatment of those we oppose. In other words, the quality of our ethics will be seen in the way that we treat our enemies. With that being the case, we should all be extremely concerned about the direction that our nation is currently headed in. Just consider the way that people are quick to attack those they disagree with on social media platforms. If you look at the comment section on any social media platform, what you find is a bunch of angry people who are attacking others with all kinds of threats of violence. And you might say, well, that's not the real world. But yes, it is. Yes, this is the real world. People are really posting those comments on those social media platforms. What about those who are willing to engage in criminal activities all in the name of justice? That's right, people are willing to engage in criminality in the name of justice. What sense does that make? And let's not forget about the double standards of those who support the abortion of innocent babies while simultaneously opposing the excessive force used by police officers as they attempt to apprehend those who are resisting arrest. Listen, if you're opposed to the use of excessive force against criminals, shouldn't you also be opposed to the use of excessive force against little babies who are still in the womb? It's obvious to me that many people in our society today are struggling to make sense of morality, and they're struggling to make good moral decisions. And the reason why is because our society really no longer has an objective standard for morality. We've thrown out the Bible, we've thrown out what the Word of God says, and now we're just clamoring to make sense of morality. With that being the case, I invite you, join me tomorrow. We're going to take some time to consider the moral measure of our Messiah, Jesus. And we're going to do this by considering what he meant when he declared, love your enemies and do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. Join us tomorrow at one of our two services. They begin at 9:15 or 11:15 a.m. If you can't join us in person, we'll be streaming the second service at 11:15 live right here at calvarysouthawesome.com. If you'd like to know more about the service times and the measures that we're taking to sanitize our facilities, well, you can find all of this information right here at calvarysouthawesome.com. And I hope to see you soon. But until then, let's continue to fight the good fight of faith, all for the glory of God.